Hi, you guys. I was supposed to record a little bit earlier, but I kind of got caught up putting all these paints away from my mom that I'm sending her. All these little gushy goshly paints. You know when you're like in a mental hospital. Well, most of you guys don't know. When you're in a mental hospital, you kind of get bored because you're doing nothing but sitting, sleeping, and eating. So a lot of the things that they do are paints. But when they're in a mental institution, they might have a class where they have arts and paints and crafts and things like that. So it's like different colors, purple, all those different colors. I just got a whole bunch of them, as you can see. And along with some hairbands, some toothpaste. Gotta have a good toothpaste. I also got a whole box. Like, y'all, I filled up her box like ridiculous. Because I don't know how long they're trying to keep her there. Which brought me to my next thought. Like, I'm not the smartest person in the world, okay? I don't know everything, even though I'm a case manager and deal with social work. I do, however, know what I thought I did. And I'm going to try to verify that in the United States that you cannot keep someone in a mental facility once they are stable, and you cannot force them to go to a group home. Now my mom is saying that she told them, like they told me, oh, it's up to her. She's made the decision that she wants to come to my place, okay? However, they're still pushing for this whole group home. So the only thing I can think of is that either my aunt still has power of attorney and made that little assumption and say, oh, I want her to go into a group home. And then when it backfired, after it backfired because they pushed her over to another place. Or they have had her to sign some papers in an altered state. I'm going to deal with the first one because I don't know, something just inklings. It's like an inkling in me. Especially when I talked to her earlier. Not even that. It was some things, some of the questions that she asked, and it was just weird, y'all. When I say it was weird, it was indeed weird. Yeah, but I just, with that, I think about, like, why isn't it, because she hasn't been released. They're saying that she's stable, even though they tried to say that she didn't take her medication, and now they're saying she's being compliant, she's taking her medication. Why haven't they released her? And then even with the whole saying there's no places, there's plenty of places here, so I still can't get it. I still don't. You're not trying, and it's not like I'm just gonna leave it up to them. I'm definitely not, because I know, for one, being a case manager and you being over 2 units is overwhelming within itself. So you really don't have that time, even though they say that you do and you're supposed to do so much. You only have this amount. You only have 24 hours in a day. And if you got so many patients that have so many intricate services, or desires and deficits needed, you're going to attend to the ones that are most needed and neglect some of those other ones, and I honestly believe that God put me in this place of going through everything and getting these certifications and not having the jobs and going through the process and things just to get prepared for taking care of my mom and people that are like that. So, yeah. Yeah, that's just where it's at. I really think that you don't want to think that way, but that's the only way I can think of that it's going, and if that's the case, my aunt should have been very upfront, because I would have been able to take care and handle things like they should be. Either way, I'm still going to take care of things how they should be, regardless, with or without her. And most of the time, most of the things I have been doing without her, she has been calling a lot, so giving them a lot of backing and saying like somebody cares for her. But doing most of the groundwork, I have to say that I have been doing most of that, just putting my, big girl panties on and just doing it, because I know that this is something that I'm going to have to do, and something, not only that God has equipped me to have a foot in to walk through. So I'm going to do that and be diligent and listen to him and just do that. The second instance is, once again, if they had her to sign something in an altered state. If they did that, okay, all hell is about to break loose. All hell is about to break loose. All hell is about to break loose. I'm going to already say that it's going to be a lot anyway, because my mom got attacked in a psychiatric ward, and not only once. The lady said she got attacked twice. So that means you did not separate them when you were supposed to. And you can say, yes, he didn't intend to. We can have all that boo-boo, and that sounds all good and everything else. However, there are laws. So, I don't believe in going against the person because they're out of themselves, but who's over them? That state hospital. They're in their hands. So they're legally responsible for that person if they can't control their movements and things like that. So yes, there's going to be something with that. Secondly, for them to say, all this stuff is happening with my mom and they didn't give us the updates the correct time. They gave them to us, but they gave them to us incorrectly. They called my aunt. They told her one thing, did not call me. I had to call them the next day because I wanted to know what was going on. Like I said, I recorded it. I recorded every conversation that I had with them. The only one that I didn't do is when she told me that my mom got hit by the gentleman, and that's because I was already in the bed and I was already hurting and sick and got hit myself. So that's why I did not record that one. I wish I did, but I was like so out of it, so much in pain.